Hello, my name is Ashley. Today I'm going to show you some of the corrections that some of the viewers they're asking me. How come my needle lace it's becoming plea? And I would love to show you how to correct it. Okay, this is the first one we have to do. Now this is a new thread we're going to start. We put in the back, which I already did over here, something small for you to start. It's already I prepared. Okay, let's put this way. All right, we're starting new. Now the reason it gets plea your needle lace, let's put this back. You can always, of course, I told you that you can just, first one you can hold it to secure your needle lace and pull it. There you go. So now we have to correct the pleats. This is not plea yet. I'm going to make plea first, and then you'll see why it's getting plea. The reason is when you're doing plea, the seeds are getting, I think, way too big. See the way I've done it here small. So when we do too big plea, too big seeds like this, small, big, big, small, like between them when you do it, automatically your needle lace bigger it gets, it will start to make it more wave. Why? Because it doesn't have a place to rest. The needle lace cannot absorb places. So what is it? Well, you're making too big like this. See over here, between here and there is plenty space. So when you go second round, it's going to be big. From here to here, it's way too short distance there is to be big. And when you are making big like this, that's where it's gonna start to get in trouble. Because you have to make sure that while you're working, you have to measure it to make sure by eye measurement will be even though you're making big and you're making even, the second round you're gonna start to see it's gonna get wavier and wavier, and then it will be plea. It will be hard to fix it. All you have to do is cut it. You cannot take it out. It will take plenty time. It doesn't worth your time to take one by one. So this is what's gonna start to do it for you. And then bigger you make, you have to make it more bigger seed to catch to the other. See, this is the problem will be. I'm going to do another roll. Maybe you can see it more that how it starts. It's, okay, let's see my thread. It's stuck. All right. And it's going to start not to look too good. See, now to go over here, I have to make it more bigger to reach to the others, to the seeds. So to come over here, because the seeds now here, it's in the middle, the tightness, the nuts. Over here now, just not to make it like too big, because if I go here, it's going to be too wild. So while you're pushing the other side, over here it's becoming more bigger space. So because bigger space, you're going to make more bigger seed. And that's what it gets the seeds bigger, and then it starts to get wavier. I'm going to do it so I can show it. Otherwise, we will not going to be able to fix it. Even though it's a wasting time, but you have to make sure that, see now, this is the small seeds we're going to do, and it's getting bigger and bigger. And we don't need in our design big seeds, because if it's the seeds has to be small, we have to do small. But when it gets bigger and we make bigger like this, besides that too, when it starts to become bigger, what you do is you're trying to make extra seeds inside the same place, and that's where it's coming plea and plea and plea. See, already started here. Now I cannot make too small. I have to do the same. See over here, if I do small, it's not going to look good, this one. So I have to make it bigger to look all even, right? But meantime, it will start to get please. I'm trying to make it mistake, but it's not even working to do it. But sooner or later it's gonna do if I do it few more lines, few more rounds. Well, I can tell that it's gonna be pleat. See, like it's sooner or later it's gonna get, because you're doing way too big or way uneven, or that's the reason. This is not gonna stay like this. If I go a couple more line, I can tell over here it's already, like I said, if I go here, it's gonna be much bigger seeds and much bigger seeds, and we don't need big. We want to do the same size as the rest. Bigger it gets, it gets more pleats. See, when I don't make extra, the seeds getting bigger. We don't need big seeds. So I want to make it smaller so it will be even. So when you do another seeds next to it, the bigger it's going to look ugly. And when you do extra seeds in it, then it's going to get pleat. This is the reason that it makes it bad, your needle lace. It will look bad and it will get pleats. So, well, I hope this will answer your questions, questions why it is. I'm trying to do as bad as I can, but it's not working with my hands. But again, you can see that it's not really flat. It just, this is material, it's what they call, it's a velvet felt, it's sticking on it. But when I put on my hands, you can see that it's not even. It's wavy. It's up and down, up and down. Let me hold it here. That you can see that it's not even. It's wavy. And then it will get bigger. It gets more pleats. It will be like a wave. So that's what's the mistake. Now, when we do mistake for making like a cup, what we are doing, this is what we're doing. When some of the people needle lace, when it's getting like a cup, when you are starting to do the needle lace, this is the second fault I want to show you. They'll start to make it, now let's say that this was supposed to be a big seeds, for example. Now, why it starts to get like a cup? Because now when they do big, it will start to look bigger and bigger. They don't want it, right? What they do, they are pulling it to make it even with the same seeds. And then what it does, they don't want to do it in the same seeds extra. They pull it tight and tight. Let me fix my thread 1 minute. Always let it hang so it will fix the needle. See already over here that I did two. Let's say even though if I do one extra here, you cannot do in each all the time too. So when you're trying to make it even, because you made it already big seeds, it's not gonna correct it. And when you do try to start to make it smaller, and that's where it starts to become like a cup. Here we go. Even though I just put two only small, and already became like a cup. This is the mistake that we do. See, even if I pull it, it's gonna stretch it, but it's not gonna look straight. And then when you work over and over, it's gonna get smaller and smaller, like it's gonna be really a cup it's gonna be. This is what I'm trying to show you so you know not to do the mistake. See, like this, it will be big, small, and then it's gonna curl it, and it's gonna be like a cup. And if you do big, then it's gonna be a lot of waves. Let me do a couple more. It's just a regular seeds I'm doing. I'm trying to show you why it's becoming these mistakes. See, now if I put this down, it's a felt, it's holding it, but look how it's looking. It's not supposed to look like this. It's supposed to look flat, just like this. See, it's like you see over here, it's becoming like a cup. And then little by little, it will close down and it won't do good. So that's why when you're working, let's say that it's the seeds, the big it is from the beginning. You can add one, and then you can add one in the same seed, and then next one you have to try to put it in the middle exactly, and the same height with the rest and the same size you have to look to make it. If you do big, small, small, big, then you will start to mess up your needle lace. So from the beginning you have to try to make it. Sometimes it happens, it became big or it became small, one or two, but you cannot keep doing the rest mistakes because later on it's going to be very hard for you to fix it. Now this one I cannot fix it, or I have to throw it away. I have to cut it back wherever I was to continue. If it was my real needle lace, that's what I will do. It's very difficult to untie it. It's not a crochet to pull the thread and get rid of the mistakes. It's hard. But this is what's the mistake we're doing, and it's looking terrible, the needle lace. No matter how much I try to fix it, definitely it's not gonna look good. See how it is? And it's all uneven and it's bad. So we don't need this. We have to make it nice and flat. So anyway, that's the whole idea. When you do big, then it's hard to make it smaller. Unless we're changing the design later on, yes. But otherwise, this is the mistake we do from the beginning. Or we're making too tight, too many seeds, or too big, a lot of seeds. Or we are pulling. That's the problem. Well, I hope that it answers your question, and I hope that you understood whatever I explained you. So just make sure that all the seeds will be even and equally, so you won't have pleats or it won't be like a cup. So don't make it too tight and don't make it too loose or sometimes big or sometimes small when it's pleats. So try to make it even. You won't have that problem. All right, well, thank you for watching, and I hope it was a good help for you, however, whatever I showed you. I tried to do mistakes, but hardly it worked, but that's the problem. All right, see you next time. Bye-bye.